Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Okay, so here's a quick, simple way to fillet a porgy. Alright, I'm going to start off by cutting behind the gill plate. You're not cutting into the ribs. You're cutting just deep enough to touch the ribs. That's it. And when you're filleting fish, just make sure your knife is pretty sharp because mine is definitely not sharp, but it gets the job done. Okay, so now I'm going to cut down the spine just to the left of the spine. You want to make the incision. And again, you're not cutting into the spine. You're just cutting pretty much parallel to the spine. And you're going to follow this all the way down to the tail. Okay, so here is pretty important. So you see how I'm pulling the flesh back, the meat back, and I'm not cutting into the spine, I'm cutting along the spine, pretty much parallel, and I'm lifting it up and I'm letting the knife do all the work. There's no need to cut into the bones or anything like that. Just let the knife just glide through the meat. It will find its way. And again, you don't have to rush this process. Just get it done. And notice how I'm angling the knife to compensate for the curve of that fish so I can glide the knife parallel to the ribs. And now I'm going to release the fillet. And there we go. That's one. I could have gotten a little bit more meat off of there, but I'm not a pro. But I can get the job done. And I'm pretty much going to repeat the same process on this side, cutting behind the gill plate. Make the incision and just follow the spine all the way down to the tail. Parallel. Just touching the spine. And again, I'm going to peel back the meat and just let the knife do all the work. Okay. So notice here how I'm angling the knife downwards so I can compensate for the angle so I can follow that rib cage down. And one tip is that before you fillet the fish, you should really be chilling your fish because it makes it a lot easier. It firms up the meat. So before you fillet, just make sure the meat is cold. This fish is kind of cold, but the colder it is, the more neat, I should say, your fillets will come out. So this is how you take the skin off. Just make a tiny cut and hold it with your finger. Keep that knife as flat as possible, and you're just going to follow the skin all the way down, pulling on that skin, and just glide the knife through. And again, the colder the meat is, it's so much easier to cut through. And the same thing. Cut a little bit down to the skin, hold that knife parallel, and just follow it all the way down, holding the skin. Oh, got away from me a little bit. And there we have it. That's pretty much all there is to filleting a porgy. In just a second, I'm going to show you how to take out the pin bones. Okay, so here's one of our fillets. You see I cut the left side and then the right side. I spread it apart and there's the pin bones right there in the middle. You can feel them with your finger and just cut them out like you'll see in a second. And there we go. Boneless porgy fillet. And I'm going to show you one more time. Feel for the pin bones. To the left, to the right. We're going to spread it. Feel for them. And cut them out. And there we have it.